in 2006, I was watching a Lifetime movie, and the movie, I cannot remember the title, but there was a girl who had been raped by a friend of hers, and she feared coming out because of what people would say and think of her. At the end of the movie, the young lady went up on a stage and admitted to everybody that she had been raped, and it was amazing to me. The story was, and I took that story on Lifetime and I applied it to myself and my life and my situation. And what I found was, here we have a young lady that has been raped. She's been harmed. She's been violated. Just the unimaginable. I cannot even imagine being raped or anything of the sort. And yet she had the courage to tell people about what happened to her. So I'm sitting here like, okay, this girl has been raped, and I'm gay. Which one is harder? Which one is harder? Being raped or being gay? And I struggled with that. I struggled with those two for a minute. But the point was that this young lady who had been raped and had been through all that she had been through, she had the courage to come out, and people accepted her, and she changed people's lives because of it. So why couldn't I, in turn, do the same thing? Why couldn't I, when I had something so small as to having a certain sexual preference? So I was inspired and empowered by that movie. So I said, you know what, this is it. I'm done hiding. I'm tired of not being happy because of my mom and my family. All of them out here living their lives, doing what they want to do, making these decisions that are not directly affecting me. They have happiness in their life, and I don't have happiness fully in my life because I have to hide who I am for them. That's not fair. It wasn't fair to me. So I said, forget it. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write a letter. And I'm going to tell every single person in my family and every single person who's close to my family or my mom, all her friends, I'm going to tell everybody all at once that I am gay and I'm tired of hiding, and that's that. And that's what I did. I sat down, I wrote the letter, and in that letter I answered every question that I could possibly think of. I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that I wasn't gay because my mother had done something wrong raising me. I wanted them to know that I wasn't gay because my father was not in the picture. I wanted them to know that I wasn't gay because I was trying to go with the crowd, or I was going through a phase, or I had been molested or raped. None of that is the reason why I, Shantae, am gay. It has nothing to do with anything because that didn't happen to me. There was none of that stuff to blame on anybody or anything for me being gay. Nothing like that happened to me at all. And I'm so fortunate. I'm so fortunate. So I needed them to understand I am gay because this is what I feel inside. And I've been dealing with this for a very long time now, so it's not a phase. Okay? I needed them to understand it. I wrote all of this in a letter. I told them, at the time, I was single. I was not in a relationship anymore. I told them that I was single. And that I told them that if they wanted to know if I was in a relationship or not, and they wanted to know what was up with me, then they needed to ask me directly and not go around behind my back and talk and assume. Now, this is my family, and I love my family. My family is beautiful, but when it comes down to some type of drama or some type of juicy gossip, sometimes family is worse than your enemies out there, and they'll talk all kinds of stuff. So I needed to address everything as if these people, my family, were people that I didn't know. I needed to put it out there. I needed to put it out there, and that's what I did. And not only did I do that, I told them that they didn't need to go to my mother about this because my mother was also unaware of my sexuality and that she was also just receiving this letter. So I said, if you guys have some type of if you have questions, if you have comments, if you have concerns, you need to direct that stuff to me because my mother can't answer it for you. She has questions herself that she can't answer right now. You need to come to me because I'm the one that's the homosexual, not my mom. So don't call her. And she's trying to deal with this. She's stressed out herself, I'm pretty sure, This is what my assumption was. And I'm pretty sure my mom is stressed out from this, so don't even bother calling her. You have questions, you have concerns, you call me, and we'll talk directly. And then I also told them, I said, you know, I have some friends that are homosexual as well. But please, I ask you, please, do not treat them or myself any differently. And if you do feel that you're going to treat me differently or them differently, let me know. And then we can discuss this as adults. Because I didn't have time for the criticism coming from my family. If they were going to cut me off because of my homosexuality, then they needed to establish that up front. I needed to know why they wanted to cut me off, and then we would go from there. It's no tiptoeing, no acting funny when I come around. I don't want to give my aunt a hug and then she look at me like I'm crazy, as if there's some type of freaky incestual stuff going on. I am a lesbian. I'm not somebody that's into being, having incest or molesting kids. I'll get into all of that later when we get to the misconceptions, but I needed her to understand I am still me. I am the same Shantae that I was before I told you, and I'm going to be the same person that I was after I tell you. You know, I'm not going to, me telling you, me coming out is not going to give me the right to go crazy and walk around here like I'm a man, or, you know, flaunt my gayness in front of you. No, that's not going to change. I'm going to be the same person that I am, and I need you to treat me as if I'm the same person that I was before I told you. And that's what the letter said. And I sent this letter out. I sent the letter out. But what I did was I staggered it. I staggered the letter. I wanted my mother to get hers first. And I did it on the weekend. I sent the letters out on a Thursday, and I needed them to get the letters on the weekend because I didn't want anybody to be stressed out to the point where they were going to miss work over this. So that's what I did. And I called my mom's best friend, and I told her, I said, hey, I just want to let you know my mom is going to need you. She's going to need you this weekend because I have made a decision to inform her and the rest of my family about something, and you will be receiving a letter also. My mom's friend actually got her letter before my mom got hers, and I prepped my mom's friend because I knew that my mom was going to need somebody to turn to with this also. I didn't want her to feel embarrassed and, you know, have the obligation of going to tell people what I am. That's my reason. If I'm gay and it's causing problems, then it's my responsibility. So I took care of my responsibility, and I made sure that everything was covered. I did it all. So my mom's friend was aware that this letter was coming. When she received her letter, she gave me a call, and she said that she read it, and she cried, and she asked me, she said, Shantae, are you ready? Are you prepared for this? Are you prepared for what people are going to have to say and the possibility of losing them? And I said, yes, I am. I am. Because if I don't get this out, then the question is not going to be, am I prepared for what people have to say and me losing people? The question is then going to become, are these people prepared to lose me over this? Because I physically could not take it any longer. I physically, mentally couldn't take it. I was killing myself because I was stressed out about hiding my sexuality. So I told her, you're absolutely right, I'm ready. And I was ready. So I sat there the whole weekend on pins and needles because I had placed all of these yellow letters. The letters were yellow, and they had a white label that held them tight. They were sealed with a white label, and on this white label it read something along the line of, before you open this letter, please make sure that you have an open mind and an open heart. That's what it said. So, you know, they're receiving these letters in the mail. You open up the envelope, you take this letter out. You can't even open it to see what it is. They know it was from me, but they no longer knew, they didn't know what it was that they had received. So they open it up, and it's yellow, and it has a label. So automatically, before they open it, I'm already preparing you. Okay, listen, this is deep. Make sure you're ready to read this. Go somewhere alone where you can take this in. Open up the letter, and there it is. At the end of the letter, I had my contact information, my phone number, my email address, however they wanted to contact me. So I'm on pins and needles because I had placed all these letters in the mailbox at one time, and I'm sitting and waiting. Saturday, around 1, 2 o'clock, my phone starts ringing, and I am ready to vomit. calls are coming in from my aunts, my uncles, my mom's friends, and they're basically very supportive. I cannot say that anybody had anything negative to say. One of my mom's friends was happy with joy. I mean, she was just joyous. She told me, Shantae, I'm so glad that you have had the strength and the courage to come out about this. I don't care what you are, as long as you're happy. You know, that's what everybody said. My uncle, he told me that, you know, he was glad that I came out. He said that over the years he had noticed me, you know, at family functions being very reserved, very quiet, and he thought something was wrong with me. He was concerned, and he prayed for me often because I just didn't seem like myself. And that made me sad, because I just shake my head at it. It's you know, it's ridiculous that, you know, I felt that I had to hide it because of what other people think. My grandmother called. That was a tough one because I had no idea what to expect from her. She was very supportive of me. She told me that my letter was beautiful, and you know, she was crying of course, and she told me that she loved me, and the only thing that she asked me to do was to make sure that I just read my Bible and that I take my vitamins, Grandma, and that I take my vitamins. But outside of that, she said that if anybody in the family gave me a hard time, then I needed to come see her, because she would handle it. She would take care of it. And she told me that she and my grandfather, they love me. They love me the same, no different. And that was it. My biological father does not know. He hasn't been in my life, so I chose not to tell him. My mother was the dreaded call. It took her, I think, maybe I think she called me on Sunday. And I knew she was going to be upset. And she was. She called me crying. But she said that she already knew. She already knew, but she was in denial. She knew for a very long time, but she was in denial. And she prayed for me. And she did. And she continues to pray for me even until today. And I appreciate it. I really do. And I'm blessed.